Hi everybody, and welcome back to another vlog. I'm just going to do this one in parts, so we'll just get straight into what this one is. This one's a yarn haul, so I'll just get straight into it. Now I did have to go to Spotlight, so I got some new cotton yarn that they have got there. I got a Snow White. This is it here. It's the 4 Seasons. Now they used to have a cotton a long time ago, but it was in much smaller balls, but I can't really remember it or what it was like. This particular yarn feels so soft. Now I've bought it specifically to do bandanas with, so we'll see how it goes. So that's the first color, Snow White. The next one that I've got is Bermuda. So, oops, there we go, Bermuda. So that's the next one. That's a lovely sea green color. So that'll see how that one goes. And last but not least is, whoops, turn it around, Karen. There, Goldfinch. So that's a lovely bright yellow. So they were the 3 yarns that I got at Spotlight. Now while I was also there, I got some 9mm eyes. So before anybody comes at me, I know they're cheaper online, but I needed them, so I just got them. So that is what I got there. Then I went and got some Portercraft yarn. Now, as I said, this is available in what we call shiploads here. Now I got 2 of the yellow because this is the right yellow to be doing SpongeBob SquarePants. I don't know why I said SpongeBob SquarePants. I meant the Minions. So that is what I'm using the yellow for. So once again, another yellow. So 2 yellows for Minions and also a solid grey. So that was 3 skeins of yarn from shiploads. So that will be for my Minions that I'm doing. As I said, I want to get in and use the cotton yarn, so I'm going to hop in and start using that one, and I'll come back to you all again later. Catch you then. Hi again. I've got 2 Etsy orders that I've got to get sent out, so I thought I'd pop in and just show you what the Etsy orders are that we're sending out. The first one is one of our black hooks, which is a fairly staple of what we send through our Etsy store. Even though we've had a fire in the shed and we're currently not making any, we do have a few in stock, so we are still able to sell what we do have, which is great. This hook, they only ordered 1, is off to America, so hopefully it'll be hanging in somebody's house in America. Now the second order that I had to get out today was for 2 bandanas. Now previously I've already done one of the bandanas, which I showed previously. It was this pink and white one, so they've chosen that one, and they also asked for another color which I didn't have made, so I've had to make it. They requested this white one. Now this is Snow White is the name of the color of the yarn, and it's the new yarn that I picked up from Spotlight, which you'll see a clip of the yarn that I did in my mini yarn haul. Now I haven't seen this yarn at Spotlight previously, so I could be wrong. It could have been there and they've just made it into a larger ball, but I found this yarn to be very soft. It was great to crochet with, and I think this bandana has come up beautifully. So she requested a completely white one with the white scalloped edge. So that one is done, and that will be hopping into the post today. So that's my second Etsy order. That one's off to New South Wales. She is a returning customer, so we're very appreciative of the fact that she is buying from us again. Looks like I'll have to get in and make some more bandanas as well. Anyway, I just wanted to pop in and show you those, as I do have to get them into the post, and it's getting late and I've got to get around to the post office. All right, I'll catch you later on. Hi everybody, I'm back. Now, as you would have seen already, I did a little bit of a yarn haul that you saw in the beginning, and then I had a couple of Etsy orders that I had to get out and get into the post. Now, I don't actually have any makes to show you per se at the moment. I'm going to save them for the next video, but I just wanted to pop on here and have a little chat about being a crochet artist full-time and part-time. Now, this is something that I've been toying with for quite a while now, and I just wanted to give a few thoughts on this matter, and then if you've got anything to add to it, please comment below. I would like to open up a discussion around the art of crochet and doing it as a business. Now, we all know that the American markets are very different to the Australian markets, and some of us can make a living from doing crochet full-time. Congratulations to those that do it full-time. I believe it's a very hard slog to be able to do it. But as I said, I just wanted to have a little chat in regards to it. So if it sounds like that I'm starting to ramble, please feel free to stop watching. I totally get it. Nobody wants to listen to somebody ramble, but at the same time, I'm trying to ascertain everyone's thoughts in regards to this. So anyway, let's get into it. Now, I have worked for myself previously, and in doing so, I always had an office where I could go and work, and in that office I would start work at a certain time and finish work at a certain time, have a break for morning tea and lunch, so that I was very structured in what I did. Now, that was it was a mind job, so to speak. I was bookkeeping in a previous life, so you know, you had to take breaks because otherwise you were seeing numbers in your sleep. And I'm sure many of us see crochet in our sleep, which is not unusual if you're doing it all the time. Now, for me personally, I'm only a part-time crocheter. I do have a regular job that I go to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and occasionally get called in for the Monday and the Friday, depending if they need me. Now, those 3 days are fairly full on in my job, and by the time I get home, all I'm wanting to do is to sit down. But then I go, well, I've got a market to do. I've got to get in and crochet. So sometimes it becomes a bit of a chore and sometimes it doesn't. Now, for the ones that are doing it full time, how do you do it? Do you have a structured work time that you do, or do you do it when you feel like doing it? Let me know. And for the part-timers, how do you manage it? As for me, and I've said many times, I'm a slow crocheter, and that's fine. That's me. I'm also a slow knitter, but once again, that's just me. I get things made, never in a rush. I can be guilty of being lazy at times. I do doom scroll on the good old Facebook, a habit that I really need to get out of. But at the same time, I like to have downtime. So, and then I go, oh, I've got a market. I better market prep, because specifically now where I don't have a large variety of stock and I've got to get in and get some made. So let me know, you part-timers, how do you manage it? So I just thought I'd give you a little bit more of a heads up in how I manage my time. Not great, as a lot of people will tell you that know me, but then at other times I can be really good at managing my time. Now, I'm currently on 2 weeks school holidays because I do work in a school. Have I done any crocheting? Yes, I have. I have managed to get some market prep done, nowhere near enough, because I also think, well, I've got to do the housework. Yes, there's only 2 of us, but things have still got to be done. Dishes have got to be done. Clothes have got to be washed. floors have got to be swept and cleaned, bathrooms cleaned, etc, etc, etc. We all know what jobs we've got to do around the house. So how does everybody manage to do those as well? Now, I do understand that if you are working full time, you have a set time to do all those. So as a full-time crocheter, do you do that as well? As for me, as I was saying, I only work part-time, and then I do have other days where I can do things, but I find that I'm doing jobs around the house and not being able to sit down and crochet as much as I want to. I've got all this beautiful yarn, some of it gifted, some of it I've bought, and I really want to get in and get things made. But being slow, and I know I should never compare myself to others, I look at some of the people that can pump out, 3-4 things at a time, and then over a week they're producing 10-12 items. I'd be lucky if I've got 5 items per week. How does everybody manage it? Do you have a huge stockpile of items that you take to the markets? Now, I don't only make plushies, I make a range of other items as well, so I like to do a bit of variety and get those made. So all my time is spent doing projects, but I never seem to have enough stock. Once again, how does everybody manage to have so much stock? Let me know. I'm open to all sorts of suggestions, because I would like to eventually do this full time. I've heard Kim from Crafty Chaos Emporium, I think that's the name of it, she says it's her retirement fund. I'm contributing to my retirement fund too, but it feels like it's a long way off. Yeah, I'd love to win $1 million and then I can do this full time. But the markets here in Australia just seem to be different. Am I picking the wrong markets to go to? That's another question I ask myself continuously. Where we live, I have found a couple of good markets, and I'm more than happy to keep going back to those markets. And I will make stuff. I'm actually now very seriously thinking of doing a couple of big ones every couple of months, so that I do have a larger variety of stock to take to them, and then I've got more time to prep. Is that something I can talk? Is that something that people do as well? Your thoughts and opinions would be greatly appreciated on this, because as I said, I'm in a bit of a quandrum about what to do, where to go. I mean, ultimately, I won't be able to keep working. The poor old body is going to give out, I think, before my time gives out. And I'm still a couple of years off before I'm 60. Not that many, but I'm at least 2 years off being 60. There you go. And, I can't even look at retirement until after I'm 60. And retirement age in Australia is 67, I do believe. And I'm not going to last that long. Who's going to last that long? So I want to earn that little bit more income, and I'm after ways on how I can improve my markets, how I can improve getting that income coming in as a steady stream. Now, we do have an Etsy shop, which has fortunately been great for us. It's taken us a couple of years to get noticed on the Etsy world. Although at the moment things are a little bit tight because, as I said, my husband can't do his horseshoe art, and that's where we sell the majority of our horseshoe art. I sell the odd piece here and there. I've never listed my plushies on Etsy. I keep that mainly to household items, beanies, scrunchies, face cloths, all those sort of things, and they're the sort of things I also take to markets. So Etsy is providing a little bit of spending money, you could say, but definitely not enough to live on. So how do all these people have successful Etsy shops? That's another thing I want to know. As you can see, there's lots and lots of questions that I want answered. My husband always says to me, you just want that ultimate answer. Well, you may never get it. True, I may never get the answer to all my questions, but I want everybody's thoughts and opinions on how you make it work for you. And we all know that just because it works for someone, it's not going to work for the next person, etc., etc. Granted, we all know that that's just the way things go. So if you're able to, as I said, leave a comment, let's start a bit of a discussion. I want to know how everybody manages to make a little bit of money, or are we all doing it for it as a hobby? The other thing is, I'm well aware we're never going to get our time back in money. That's a given. Unless people want to pay you $40 an hour to create something, you're never going to get your money back for your time spent doing it. I'm honest enough to say that I have been gifted a lot of yarns, so I keep my prices low for the fact that I haven't had to buy yarn. I'm not charging my time. I'm only ever charging to cover the cost of eyes and the odd new ball of yarn that I've got to buy to match up with things. So as I said, I keep my prices reasonably low. Probably upsets a lot of other stall holders, but as I keep saying, I didn't have to buy this yarn. I've been very fortunate in having a lot of it gifted to me, and what yarn I have bought, I'm managing to cover my costs. So that's another thing that takes into account. How do we keep going? Where do we find the money from? Everybody says join YouTube. Okay, fair enough statement, join YouTube, but then we've got to get the followers. How do we get the followers? We all share our videos amongst each other. That's another great way of doing it. But how do we increase our followers? The content in our videos. How do we keep coming up with new content that could possibly be different to everybody's content? Or do we keep rehashing the same things? There's another question for you. As you can imagine, I've got questions galore about being a part-time or a full-time crocheter. So please, as I said, any comments would be greatly accepted. And that brings us to the end of this video. As I said, I'm sorry I don't have many makes to show you. I have been working on custom orders and trying to get out some Etsy orders. Hopefully in the next vlog I can show you all the makes I have made, although it's probably not going to be many, let's be honest, but I'm going to have a go and I'm going to keep trying. So I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Let me know if you like these little bit of a chat videos. It's something different. Not everybody is after a chat video. I understand that, and they want to see things that we make. But as a new person to YouTube and to the business world of being a crocheter, let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you do different that works, or what you could suggest would work. I look forward to reading some great comments. If you would like to see what happens in the next video, please hit that subscribe button. I'd be grateful for any followers. Also comment, like, let's all boost each other's videos up so that we as Australians can create a YouTube community where we can all support each other. Thanks again to everybody that has tuned in, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Have a great week. Bye.